What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Smash JT. I know it's been a hot minute since my last video, and that's because there hasn't really been very much to talk about that's been worth making videos on. And I think a part of it is just because I've dealt with a lot of personal stuff that has affected my YouTube channel in a way that is really hard to talk about without making it worse. So I'm just going to kind of leave that as it is. But the other thing I've noticed with YouTube is it's not fun anymore. So I've been doing YouTube for a solid 4 years now, something like that, 3.5, 4 years. Man, time goes by. It feels like I just started last year, but I've been doing it for a while now, and I've had some pretty steady growth throughout the entire tenure of my time on the tubes, and I've experienced a lot of good times, a lot of great memories, some not so great, made some awesome friends, and met a lot of interesting people. But we've gotten to the point now where YouTube is just not what it used to be. And I think a lot of that has to do with the algorithm and what it's directing people towards, the type of content that it wants people to watch, the type of content that people are interested in watching, and just the overall direction of the platform. It's not all fun and games anymore. It's like serious. It's stressful. It's drama, and that's it. Like, if you are trying to start a retro game channel now, good luck to you. I don't care how good you are. You're not going anywhere. That's been well established, and unfortunately, those players are only getting bigger while everyone else is just floundering around. So now people are left to, if I want to grow my channel, I need to talk drama. I need to go at somebody. I need to poke and prod just to get attention to grow my own brand. You know, it's kind of what Tipster has built his entire brand on, is just going at people. But it's not just him. He's like the top dog, if you will, of the small time YouTubers that just made it by going at Suzy Lou over and over again. But there's a slew of this like anti-e-beggar community that's just desperate for attention. And I've tried really hard to not give it to them, to not talk about them. But it's kind of like that elephant in the room at this point, where it's like, guys, chill. Like, there's something wrong upstairs with you. And I don't know how else to tell you this. You need to take a step back from YouTube, reevaluate your life, and do things that make you happy. Do things that bring positivity to your life. Because making these videos over and over and over every day, going at just random people on the internet that did, by most accounts, nothing wrong. You know, it's frustrating. I can only speak to myself because that's really the only person I know. I don't understand why there's so much hate. For me, personally, it's funny too, because there's a weird dichotomy when it comes to people making videos on you and how you're supposed to take their input as feedback and listen to the critics and try to act on the things that make sense to act on. And I tried my best to balance all that during my 4 years on YouTube, where, you know, I had the Patreon, I had the merch, I had the live streams. I was trying really hard to promote the brand out there and grow my brand and be something unique and special to YouTube that no one else really had. And I feel like I've had a lot of people tell me that's exactly why they watch me and subscribe to me, is because they enjoy my perspective that's unique to me. But these people were frustrated at how I was having a Patreon or whatever. I don't know. They had this weird attachment to hating on me because of that. I had some success in my life outside of YouTube, and I was able to afford to take my Patreon down. People still keep coming at me though. Why? Now I'm seeing things like, oh, his voice is so annoying. He's just so annoying. He's a very punchable face. It's just like, you know, the generic comments that people make. They're just looking for reasons to be mad at you. but they don't have anything, so they just start inventing things. Okay, if you don't like my voice, if you think I have a punchable face, if you think my takes are bad, why the hell are you watching me? Like, there's so many people that have notifications on for me just to watch and react to my takes. How boring and pathetic is your life if that's what you're doing with it? Like, it's just funny. Like, I'm not even a big time YouTuber. I'm just a dude that likes talking about video games and stuff that interests me. And I have this weird attachment to these haters that just feed off of anything that I do. And people say you're not supposed to acknowledge them. It's funny. But I went a long time without acknowledging them. And it's just gotten worse and worse and worse and worse. And YouTube hasn't done a goddamn thing. Like, YouTube doesn't care. They'll let them try to destroy your life any way they can. As long as the AdSense revenue keeps coming in for Google, YouTube's not going to do a damn thing about it. So it leaves creators in this awkward spot where they need to make a decision on, are they going to keep making these videos and just dealing with the direct personal life attacks that creators get? Or do they just simply say it's not worth it and walk away? You know, it's funny too. I've heard a bunch of people say like, oh, you know, Smash JT's a coward. He left YouTube because he couldn't take the heat, so he got out of the kitchen. It's like, no, I can take plenty of heat. But when I start getting some, what's the word I'm looking for? Very specific, direct, impactful attacks to my life because I'm making videos, that's when I have to draw the line. Because when I say if you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen, it's when people are just casually hating on you and talking about you and saying how much they hate you. I can take that all day long. I don't care. These people are losers. They're not going anywhere in their lives. They're desperate for attention. That's clear as day to me. But when it starts crossing that line, that's when the creator has to make a decision of what are they doing next? Is this worth it to them? Because to be honest, I'm definitely not doing it for the money anymore. I was at one time. I was hoping to grow this into a business where I could talk about my passions and make money off of it. I don't know why that's shunned, why that's hated in the anti-e-beggar community, why that's a bad thing to want to turn what you love into something that can make money. I've said that many times before. I still don't understand it. But be that as it may, I think what I've learned is that actually isn't the issue here, because I removed all those things. I proved the haters wrong, and they're still coming at me, even when they don't have any ammunition left. So I think that's when you have to turn the camera on the person who's watching and saying, what are you doing with your life? Why? Like, what are you getting out of this? What gratification do you get outside of getting a few hundred views on a video? You know what I mean? So that's, I guess, where I'm getting at with all of this. YouTube is devolved into just talking about drama for the sake of talking about drama. I've had multiple people sub 1,000 subscribers. Like, they have under 1,000 subscribers. Some of them like 100 or 200 subscribers. Make videos about me getting thousands of views. Thousands. And the videos they make are full of lies, full of vitriol, full of hatred towards me, without any factual information whatsoever. They're taking that information, plastering it online, trying to defame me, trying to make me look like a horrible human being, and people eat it up. But even though none of it's true, it doesn't matter. Like, they eat it up. And the YouTube algorithm is to blame, allowing these, for lack of a better word, they're just bottom feeders to just try to get attention any way possible. And I blame YouTube for that. They shouldn't be promoting these no-name people with no research, no factual information whatsoever, but they just utilize the algorithm to their advantage so that it gets plastered in front of everyone's faces, putting my name, putting my channel information in the subject line, and saying something about how I did something awful. Like Like what Tipster was doing with me and the Intellivision Amico about how I was a fraud because I invested in the Intellivision Amico. Even though as everyone who watches me on a daily basis knows, I talked about that. I was very open about that. Literally the day after I made the investment, I made a video proclaiming it to the world because I was excited about it. Then I had people like Top Loaded Gaming trying to contact Tommy Tallarico, asking him what the exact date was that I invested, what the exact date was my video was, how long was I talking about the Intellivision before I let people know about how I invested in it. Like they're trying to dig up anything they can. And when they came up empty, they started making more lies about me because they couldn't just go to their audience with nothing. They're like, oh man, we built this up. We gotta say something about this guy, about how he's a horrible human being. So they just ran with it, even though it wasn't true, that I was promoting the Intellivision Amico fraudulently because I'm an investor and I wasn't disclosing that. Which, by the way, I don't know the ins and outs and the laws on when you're supposed to disclose something or not. I don't care. Like, I'm a dude with a YouTube channel that talks about stuff that I love. And I proactively decided to inform people, my audience. I don't look at myself as an influencer, but I want to tell people anyways that I invested in it. I thought that was a cool thing. And the fact that these people turned that around to be a negative, I just think it's funny how one thing I've learned with YouTube over the years is there's always two sides to a story, no matter how innocent and goodwill and good natured you might be with a event that you do or a motivation you have. People will find the other side of it and try to create a story out of that, change the narrative to their side of things, make you out to be the bad guy, get clicks, get attention, get subscribers, grow their brand off of that. The truth doesn't even matter anymore. That's what YouTube's devolved into. And I've noticed that with the videos that are made hating on me, getting thousands of more views than my videos talking about stuff. That is hysterical to me. Like that is absolutely hysterical. And the haters will hear that and they'll be like, yeah, because you suck and people trashing on you are right. It's like the views don't equal facts. You know, I think that's the biggest thing. People think because something has more views that person is by default right. That's the problem with the algorithm. It doesn't teach or train viewers what's right or wrong. It just puts in front of them what they want to see. And they'll watch that and it'll just reinforce their already created opinion about how much they hate somebody, and they want to feed that. And it just makes it more and more negative and worse as it goes. I noticed that when I first started making the Pro Jared videos a while back, with that whole situation with the creepiness of the underage kids and stuff at the convention. And I was feeding into that. But I mean, this is me brand new at YouTube, not having really any knowledge whatsoever. And I started making videos about that. And it was starting to get so much attention. I was getting thousands of views for a channel with like, I don't know, a few hundred subscribers at the time. I don't even remember. And it was blowing up. And I was like, wow, these people really hate Pro Jared. That's crazy. And then I dared to make a video talking about how he actually might be innocent after I did all the research. And I'm like, whoa, we might actually have this wrong. This is crazy. These people that are calling him out are super sketchy. And that video got dislike bombed, hate bombed, people getting so mad at me because they said I twisted the narrative, changed my opinion, and all these other things. They just wanted to hear bad things. They didn't care about the facts. They didn't care about the truth. Just had some random dogs run by me, but then I found the owner, so it's okay. Where was I? So I guess my point being with all of this is the algorithm feeds the hatred. And the hatred feeds the clicks, and the clicks feed the subscribers, and the subscribers feed the mouths of these YouTubers that are trying to make their brand known. This day and age. I tried YouTube doing it just straight up gaming. My channel flopped, like straight up flopped. It was like getting maybe 50 views on videos that I was pouring 8 to 10 hours into when I first started. Now, looking back, they weren't the best videos, I'll be honest. But I feel like I've gotten a lot better with those videos as time went on, and they were still getting like 60 to 80 views. And it wasn't worth the effort that I was putting into it for the views that I was getting. And I realized I had to make a decision where it came to with YouTube is if I wanted any chance of success on the platform, I would need to broaden my horizon and talk about other things. Kind of like what Review Tech USA did. Like he used to review tech. Now he kind of just talks about drama on the internet. Sometimes he talks about reviewing tech, very rarely, but he's realized the way to get to success is to talk drama, talk what people are interested in watching to grow the brand into something bigger than what it would be if it was just video games. But that's the problem is now it's turning into let's find the negative things out there and just talk about those because that's what people want to watch. And it makes you wonder where the future of the platform is going. If that's just picking up speed as it goes, people aren't talking about what they love anymore. They're talking about what's going to get them attention going forward. I guess that's why it feels like the videos that I've seen lately aren't really driving me back to the platform these days. It's not making me interested to watch more. You know, I just kind of like, not to mention my own personal life is very busy as well, so I don't really have time to be sitting around watching YouTube videos all day. But it's different than it was a few years ago where it was exciting times. New consoles were getting released. The Nintendo Switch was like the hottest thing on the market, and it was exciting to see what Nintendo was going to do and how PlayStation and Xbox or Microsoft were going to compete against that and all that stuff. Now it's kind of like, I don't know. It doesn't hold the same weight as it used to, and maybe that's why the content is devolving into what it is now, even worse than it was a couple years ago. And maybe this is one of those ebb and flow things. Maybe it will come back in time when there's stuff to talk about in the gaming industry. Maybe the pandemic just slowed everything down and it's just people are really bored right now and have nothing to talk about because very little news is releasing on the gaming front. So they're reaching for whatever they can find. I don't know the exact reason. I just know that right now, YouTube kind of sucks. I'm going to leave it right there. Thank you guys so much for listening to me ramble. If you made it to the whole end of the video, I appreciate you. Thank you for your support over the years. And until next time, you stay smashing. Smash it,